Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's 4 o'clock, you have to run back home, and you are eagerly thinking of how this finishes fast. I was also a student like you, sitting in the audience side, and we are just pulled here to, listen to such sessions. But still, I assure you that you might have not come across such a session in your college, in your undergraduation life, or probably even if you have had such a kind of session on your ears, maybe just on YouTube if you explore. So from my side I can assure you, but from your side, if you want to get it assured, you have to reply back. Just don't focus on the name and think कि ऐसा ही कुछ होगा जो हमेशा होता है. You are getting me what I want to say. So, are you ready for the guest talk? Should we mention it as a talk or should we mention it as an interactive session? What's your choice? Talk. You don't want to interact. See, I will ensure as a faculty that you will not be able to sleep behind, nor you will be able to use your mobile phones, because I can plunge downstairs and come amidst you and ask you certain questions. तो 4 लोगों में अपनी रहे ऐसा हम इंटरेक्शन करते हैं. So are you ready for such interaction? Can you please switch on the lights? पोस्ट लंच, पोस्ट प्रैक्टिकल, ऐसा लाइट बंद करके बैठेंगे तो नींद ही आने वाला है. सो गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन. आई शैल नॉट स्टार्ट इफ यू आर नॉट रिस्पॉन्डिंग. आई हैव कम हियर ट्रैवलिंग 16 hours in a bus with my lunch at 11:30, walking in the streets of Indore in this hot sun, just for what? For what? For this session. I am not paid for anything by anyone, neither my college nor your college. But I want to share something with you which will withstand you in this dark competition of medical education and healthcare industry, which is rising like anything. In the next 10 years down the line, when you get into the market to practice as a clinician. So would you like to learn about it? Would you like to learn about it?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to learn about it?
Yes, sir.
So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
How many ready? Please raise your hands. How many want to learn something from this session? See, after such a lot of background, hands up. Yes. So are you ready? Yes, you have to be loud.
Yes,
I can keep the mic and still be louder than you. So आपको MGM का नाम मिट्टी में मिलाना है क्या? Yes. देखो डीन सर सरप्राइज विजिट के लिए आ गए तो बोलेंगे डुबाने के काम कर रहे हैं. आज तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर का भी वर्चुअल प्रोग्राम है इंदौर में, थोड़ी तो इज्जत रख लो. सो आर यू रेडी? आर यू रेडी? यस, दैट्स हाउ इट शुड बी, आई थिंक. सो बेसिकली आई केम 1.5 months back to meet your dean sir, and I introduced myself and put up a proposal to him. क्या खुजली हो रही है? कंफर्टेबली बैठो, एसी थोड़ी देर में अच्छा हो जाएगा. So I'd come to him. Yes, come back. See, you have to enjoy the moment and you have to grasp the moment. Don't take it personally. It is just a way to grab everyone's attention. You getting me? Unfortunately, you were the person. After some time, someone else would be. So everyone be aware. So I'd been to him and I introduced myself and I said, sir, I would like to have such a kind of interactive session so that we can inspire and ignite some young minds here. He approved, and we finalized the date of today, 31st May. And I took a CL from my college and I'm here. So basically I am going to talk to you for the next 1 hour onwards about how do I see myself as a clinician in the society. See, you come here giving a NEET exam as a fresher or a first attempt or a second attempt or a third attempt. With me in my UG batch, I had a person who was giving his 5th or 6th attempt. I mean, I don't know 5th, 6th attempt kitna wo valid hai ki nahi, but he was 6 years elder to me basically, what I want to highlight. You want to talk? You are going to talk in the mic. Okay, I will share the mic with you. So he was 6 years elder to me in the same batch. मतलब ये फील्ड का या ये डिग्री का इम्पोर्टेंस कितना ज़्यादा है लोगों के नज़र में. So when I was in first year, I felt यार लोग अपने लाइफ का 6 years दे के इधर आ रहे हैं. 6 years मतलब क्या? If you see the other fraternity, they are out abroad minting money like anything. They are having 5 CR, 10 CR in terms of dollars. And finally you are doing everything for what? Papi pet. So I was very much inquisitive about knowing कि यार ये लोग इतना अपनी ज़िंदगी डाल के आ क्यों रहे. अच्छा, जो ऊपर बैठे वो सब लोग नीचे आ जाओ तुरंत से. ऊपर जितने लोग बैठे प्लीज़ 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 सर थोड़ा सा हेल्प करेंगे. ऊपर फैकल्टीज बैठे, स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं. I request all students to please come down. I am not able to see your face and it is making me a little unhappy. Yes, so come back. So I was inquisitive about why people are giving such a lot amount of precious young life, part of young life for this degree. So second year onwards I started organizing this session for my junior batches. Last 6 years I am doing it. We had a batch of 150 which later became 200, and that session is for more than 2 hours. And I give them 5 minutes to think and ask them to answer. आप एक वर्ड में या 2-3 वर्ड्स में, एक लाइन में आप बोलोगे कि आप यहाँ क्यों हैं. Why are you here in MBBS? What did you think? And the maximum answers in the last 6 years that I received: parents' dream, my dream, grandparents' dream, to earn money, to be a part of a noble profession, the so-called noble profession, because the nobility ends when it is entitled as industry. Industry means what? We all learned in our history textbooks about the industrial revolution. Nor the countries like India and Africa, or the Asian and African countries from where the raw material was taken, were happy, and neither the ones which had this industry as their base, their life became mechanized. After this industrialization of healthcare, even we are a part of this mentality. And that is why you come across a news where a 35-year-old cardiologist is committing suicide. After becoming a DM, he is committing suicide. Recently, due to some family reasons, I must not mention it again and again, but a very senior neurologist in the West India, based from Sholapur, committed suicide. 65-year-old. Thousands of crores of worth in terms of money, thousands and lakhs of patients he treated, global recognition he had achieved, committed suicide. Can we justify suicide in this way? Tell me. Can we justify suicide? In what terms? Family issues था, पैसा नहीं था, फेम नहीं था, क्या नहीं था? Qualification wise नहीं था. What makes him commit suicide? What do you think? Anyone would like to add? Then आगे हम लोग चर्चा करने ही वाले. Would you like to add something? Please stand and answer. Yes, you have to. अरे जिसका 300 बेड का हॉस्पिटल है, जिसने हॉस्पिटल की पहली ईंट से इतनी बड़ी इमारत खड़ी करी है, जो विद्वानों का विद्वान है, उसको क्या प्रेशर हैंडलिंग नहीं होगा? What do you think? Yes?
वो सीख चुका होगा.
तो कमिट क्यों किया फिर? Your friend wants to add. Yes, third person from the row.
सर उसको वर्क ओवरलोड होगा.
उसके हाथ के नीचे 10 डॉक्टर काम करते हैं.
तो क्या होगा?
साधो रुको जरा, सब्र करो. देखो, क्योंकि आपको वो व्यक्ति पर्सनली पता नहीं, इसीलिए आप ऐसे बहुत सारे डायलॉग बोल सकते हो अथवा इंटरप्रिटेशंस रख सकते हो, गलत नहीं है. उनका इशू था फैमिली इशू था. आपको आंसर करना है. पता नहीं आपके पास कितनी बार उंगली आई. कहने का मतलब ये है सर, when we go away from the purpose of why we started an act, leads to all the problem. And it leads to such a kind of problem that it gets you to the brink of a miserable death, a miserable dead end of whatever you are doing, including life. लाइफ भी तो हम कर ही रहे ना, कुछ बैठ के तो खा नहीं रहे, माँ दे दे कर नहीं रहे ना. यू आर लर्निंग फॉर वॉट? फॉर अ डिसेंट लाइफ, फॉर अ हैप्पी लाइफ. दाल रोटी खाऊं, अपने फैमिली की रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी करूं एंड स्पेंड अ बेटर टाइम पोस्ट रिटायरमेंट. बट इफ दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग, क्या करेगा आदमी? फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाएगा. ही विल टेक अप some step that he should not have ideally. And you never know what is the mindset of that person. You never know. But this does not make it authentic, or it does not, support the act. It does not support the act. So basically we come with a lot of hopes here in a medical college. After giving NEET, 25 lakh students appear for this exam, and hardly 1.5 lakh of them get selected, and they are here. But I think that you people are better speakers about the environment in different medical colleges. Would anyone like to add about it? No? कोई सीनियर कुछ नहीं बोलेगा. A question related to this: why did the NMC think EdCom is important to be introduced in the syllabus or curriculum? क्यों लगता है NMC को? आपको क्या लगता है, क्या NMC के अधिकारियों को क्यों लगा होगा? Director, board of directors, would you like to add something? अरे पेशेंट 50% आपके बोलने से ठीक होता है और आप लोग बोल ही नहीं रहे. काका कुछ नहीं हुआ बोला तो ही इज ओके, बिकॉज लाइफ ऑफ द पेशेंट हैंग्स ऑन द वर्ड्स ऑफ ए डॉक्टर, इज व्हाट आई लर्नड. बट यू आर नॉट स्पीकिंग बिकॉज यू आर नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट. हाउ इज दिस गोइंग टू हेल्प यू? वो खाली कॉन्सर्ट में, गैदरिंग में बोल के थोड़ी काम होने वाला है. वो तो कोई भी करेगा, आर्ट्स कॉमर्स वाला भी करेगा. सो व्हाट मेक्स यू स्टैंड डिफरेंट देन अदर फ्रेटर्निटीज? If it is not your own knowledge and confidence in it, then how are you going to stand different in the society? And how are you going to treat patients? Why do you think NMC included EdCom in curriculum?
प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज?
ये प्रैक्टिकल तो बिल्कुल नहीं है यार।
ये
उन्होंने सोचा एक था पर हो एक गया। डू यू वांट टू से लाइक दिस?
लाइक दिस, यस सर।
ऐसा वो बेचारा इतना, वो मेरे लिए नहीं बोल रहा है, वो इतना प्रेशराइज हो गया बेचारा, पीछे से उसको पकड़ा। सो बेसिकली द स्किल of communication, the approach in attitude, and the way of living by the means of ethics declined over a period of time in our setup because of its industrialization. And so NMC thought that it would be great, which would act like an adjunct by adding this subject. But unfortunately it has become just a part of one SAQ to get 5 marks, 7 marks. Is it so? No? Justify your answer. हमारे MBBS के सब स्टूडेंट्स को महाराष्ट्र में कहावत है, बेटा वही बोलना जिसका मतलब तुझको पता है, जिसको तू रीजनेबली आंसर कर सकता है. अटर द वर्ड्स विच यू कैन जस्टिफाई. स्टैंड. अरे वो वाइवा में बोलना, सॉरी. मैंने क्या पूछा? चल किसी और को खड़ा कर. तेरा फेवरेट कौन है? यस. वो क्वेश्चन क्या है? पूछो तुम्हारे फ्रेंड को. मैं मेरे मजे ले रहे हो क्या?
सर इसको खड़ा
करो करो करो. अरे बाइक तो पकड़ो. हाँ देखते कहाँ तक खड़े होते हैं. हाँ NMC को ऐसा क्यों लगा? हाँ तो आपको क्या लगता है? क्या हुआ? आपको कुछ बोलना है? मैं माइक देता हूँ यार. ऑथेंटिसिटी रखो बोलने में. बोलो बोलो.
किसी ना किसी डॉक्टर पेशेंट रिलेशन में कुछ गड़बड़ी हो रही थी.
हाँ वो तो हमने बोला ना, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन. यस यस. वेट. इतना ताली बजाने का शौक मत रखो, फिर मैं भूल जाऊंगा मैं इधर गेस्ट टॉक करने के लिए आया. कुछ बोल के नहीं. इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन बोल तो रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हमने, बट आपको क्या लगता है? और कुछ उसमें ऐड करना चाहते हो? नो मोर कमेंट्स. प्लीज. अरे तीसरी बार पॉइंट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं खड़ा कर रहा हूँ. कुछ तो बोल दे यार.
सर आई फील लाइक कि कुछ उनके कम्युनिकेशन में या लाइक पेशेंट को कैसे ट्रीट करते हैं डॉक्टर में कुछ कमियां हो रही थी, तो दे थॉट के सिलेबस से ज़्यादा एक क्लिनिकली कुछ फ़ायदा हो गया सर.
पर ऐसे तरीके से होगा कुछ?
सर वो अगले वाले से
Is this modality that has been introduced as AdCom going to help in enhancing the ethics, attitude and communication skills of undergraduate students?
I think not until we believe it.
Yes, he has a very good answer. Please give a big hand for it. आप कोई काम कर रहे हो ना, देखो बोल रही है, आप आंसर करते तो आपके लिए भी ताली बजती. Okay, focus here. See, until and unless we do a job wholeheartedly, it's not going to help. You come with a lot of hope in MBBS field, और आते ही सबसे पहले बोर्ड तो बहुत बड़े बड़े सब जगह लिखे रहते हैं एंटी रैगिंग के वगैरह वगैरह, बाकी चंपी हो जाती है. and then you lose confidence, and when you lose confidence you don't explore. When you don't explore you remain the same ऐसे क्या underground for the whole of your MBBS. And then when you are out in the market as a medical officer, You are expected to know basic skills, soft skills, hard skills. You are expected to know how you are supposed to tackle a situation in the patient hospital scenario. For example, two communities, I am not talking about मतलब ऐसा कोई specifically, two groups who are fighting with each other ruthlessly with swords, hammers, etc. They come to casualty, okay, and you have casualties from both the sides. ग्रुप ए ग्रुप बी दोनों ही तरफ से लोगों को नुकसान हुआ है. क्या वो आपको कुछ ऐड करना है? आपको कुछ ऐड करना है? वो देना थोड़ा सा. अरे खड़े हो जाओ आप प्लीज. सेकंड पर्सन, यस, समथिंग इन योर पॉकेट. हाँ वो दे दो इधर. She wants to listen. Thank you. Two groups, they fought amongst themselves, and you have casualties from both the sides, group A, group B, both. And you are the only medical officer in your PHC or your UHC or whichever place you are posted. अब उसमें से एक साइड में एक व्यक्ति राम जी को प्यारा हो गया. He succumbed. Okay, despite all resuscitative measures. And on the second side, there is a person who is grievously injured, but still there are hopes. Now, if you go and declare the death of person from group A, what will happen? If you are thoughtful enough, if you are vigilant enough, if you are brilliant enough to understand the situation, and if you can envision आगे क्या होने वाला है, with the understanding कि whatever I utter is going to be the final statement. If you go and declare the death of the person from group A, there will be more casualties there and there itself. आपस में मारेंगे. B वाले A के ऊपर चढ़ेंगे, सॉरी A वाले B वाले पे चढ़ेंगे कि हमारा व्यक्ति तुम्हारे मारने की वजह से. So as a doctor, understanding the situation, is it wise to go and declare the death? How will you tackle this situation? You should go and say patient बहुत serious है. You are not speaking lies. You are not speaking lies. To avoid further complications, to avoid further casualties, as a vigilant doctor, you would go and say patient is very serious. You make everyone out of your casualty area, treatment area, ask them to wait, call up police, call up for security available there locally, ask all your hospital staff to gather there, and then once the environment is settled, people are calm, slowly declare, stating that we did all these measures. And you are in the era of AI, you are in the era of a highly boosted technological scenario with lots of upgradations. Everywhere CCTVs, everywhere you are captured, everywhere you are. ऐसा नहीं कि बोल दिया हो गया, ऐसा नहीं. Whatever you utter, if the CCTV is on, if उसका mobile phone is on, if the small camera is on, if a audio recording is on, you have to be very vigilant. आप क्यों हम सुनते ये हॉस्पिटल फोड़ दिया, उसको तोड़ दिया, इसको मार दिया? Why is this happening? Because we don't dare to speak in our campus when we are students. Why is Sachin Tendulkar so very successful? He started playing cricket, international cricket, when he was 16. It means what? He played Ranji, State, etc. when he was 3-4 years younger, 11-12 of his age. So when did he start practicing all this? Means what? Early you start, better the results you have. और हम 12 साल की उम्र में या जाने दो 16 साल की उम्र में क्या कर रहे थे? क्या कर रहे थे? हाँ, क्या कर रहे थे? अब जो हो गया सो हो गया, पर अब तो अरे भाई तुमको नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, क्यों तुम सारे बाण अपने पास खींच रहे हो? 200 बच्चे बैठे, 150 बच्चे बैठे. सो व्हाट इज द टेक होम मैसेज? वी हैव टू स्टार्ट अर्ली. अब देखो, तुम अपनी इच्छा से आए, घर वालों की इच्छा से आए, किसी और कारण से आए, कुछ और कमाने के लिए आए, इज ऑल डिफरेंट. द मोटो हैज टू बी, अब आ गए. Once you are married, there is no option for divorce here. With the field I am talking about. You can pay, but that is not worth. So once you are here, you have to think how I can be more and more vigilant here, how I can make this time more and more fruitful in my young age. See, it's a very difficult time spending 6 hours of your youthful life for a particular course without all other amenities that people from other fraternities enjoy. If you would take a walk around or in the office of a corporate person, it's far different than our hostels and our laboratory spaces, our classrooms, etc. तो मन में आता है ना, साला वो भी 24 का है, मैं भी 24 का हूँ, मैं इधर किधर अटका हुआ हूँ और वो क्या कर रहा है. बट इज इट हेल्पफुल इफ यू स्टार्ट रिग्रेटिंग? व्हाट शुड बी अ बेटर चॉइस, होपलेस एंड और एंडलेस होप? एंडलेस होप. बट एंडलेस होप ऐसे मेरे को जामुन खाना है तो जामुन की माला फेरने से जामुन मुंह में नहीं आने वाला. यू हैव टू वर्क फॉर इट. इन दैट कॉन्टेक्स्ट, as accountable clinicians, we have to start working for the type of society we want to work in. We have to start working for the type of environment we want to stay in. And it all starts from self. Charity begins at home. And we are not 50 years back in India कि मेरे पास सुविधा ही नहीं है, रूम के जितना बड़ा कंप्यूटर है कहाँ से लेके आऊँ. You have everything on a single click. See, I am doing my PG. So far till date, I don't have my Facebook account, I don't have my Instagram account, I don't have my Twitter account, I don't have any other social media account except for WhatsApp, Telegram, which is required for your day-to-day office work. मेरा क्या बिगड़ा? कुछ नहीं बिगड़ा. अब आप खुद सुबह से शाम तक लिस्ट निकालो, आप कितना टाइम उस पर स्पेंड करते हैं. Just keep on scrolling the reels. What is it going to get you to? Some say entertainment. If it is worth giving your young age for such kind of useless entertainment, you can go ahead. If not, you can think over your own self. Accountability will start from your own self. How you educate yourself. How you educate yourself. This is, आप कुछ पढ़ रहे हो, जर्नल लिख रहे हो, लॉग बुक. देखो, मैं 16 घंटे इसलिए नहीं आ गया, पर आई विल नेवर माइंड. If we are not able to uplift our minds from the enslavement of exam holiday cycle, we will continue doing the same. See, whatever I am speaking out of a lot of accountability and with a lot of experience in this field in last 8 years. From a class 4 person in my college to a Padma Vibhushan awardee, we have been doing all sets of array of things. And with that I felt I must go and talk to people around, and I keep on doing it. Now the discussion was why NMC thought of bringing this into the curriculum. Because there is a lot of gap because of this industrialization. Now if we want this to be successful, we have to start living. Would you like to add something? You are continuously discussing something. So if you would like to add, please raise your hand. I am very free to give my mic to you. मैं ऐसा नहीं बोलूँगा 8 साल बाद में आना, ऐसा नहीं होगा. You can always speak. So the thing is, NMC wants us to do something, right? So can't we put a little effort to make that attempt a successful one. They want us to speak well. Go into the hospital, every day give half an hour, go into the hospital and just observe. Just observe. Even if you are not here to give empathy, sympathy to the patient, still do that because you will need it then, later in your life. Otherwise, you will also end up yourself addicting somewhere, going behind someone, or doing something else. I have a lot of limitations to speak on the mic. I hope you understand what I am saying, and you will take the exact meaning that I want you to take. It's a very sensible issue where people are ending up their lives for small causes because they are not aware why the hell they are here. As humans, forget, that's a long story. But at least as an MBBS student or an undergraduate student. And that is what NMC wants you to learn from this. You can like or dislike this, but you cannot avoid this. It will come to you somewhere, sometime in your life, and if you don't realize it then you are gone. And that is what is happening today. If such learned people, when you say I am an MBBS aspirant or I am an MBBS MD, people look to you with a lot of inspiration. You try this from whichever place you have come, maybe a metropolitan place or maybe a village, remote place. When you state मैं MBBS कर रहा हूँ, तुम सोचो ना लोग कितना टाइम खपा रहे हैं उसके लिए. So we are into something which the society dreams of. Now our work is to build a floor above to an unlimited floored tower of great deeds by the means of this field. So how to handle this situation, day-to-day situation in education of medical sciences and in the practice of medical sciences is why they want you to learn EdCom. Now who is the main center? Tell me. When it comes to medical education, it is the undergraduate student, which is ideally the most, which should be the most taken care of wala group or aspect of medical science, but unfortunately is the most neglected one. The other time before starting this session, I was talking with Dr. Chabra about this, and he said, yes, you're right, most neglected species is undergraduate students. I don't know what kind of hostels and classrooms you have, maybe better, but the colleges which are old enough, they never renewed. Renew, repair, ऐसा गवर्नमेंट में वर्ड ही नहीं होता है. इट्स डायरेक्ट रिप्लेस, नया बिल्डिंग, एंड दैट कम्स फार आफ्टर यू पास ऑफ फ्रॉम दिस कॉलेज. सो कमिंग बैक टू द टॉपिक is how accountable we become one step every day by monitoring our own selves by the means of EdCom. Only then we are able to have an edge over others in terms of service. There are hundreds of cardiologists in Madhya Pradesh. Why only a few, which you can count on your fingers, are the very famous one? वो क्या दूसरे ग्रह का दवाई लाके दे दे क्या? वो भी उन्हीं कॉलेजेस में से सीखे हैं जिनमें हम आप सीख रहे हैं. So what makes the difference? It is these soft skills. Of course hard skills चाहिए. You have to have a good hand if you are a surgeon. You have to have a good thinking if you are a physician. You should be able to, come to the conclusion through the same sequel which is happening in the body of that patient. And this, when it comes to medical education, we were talking about student centricness. And when it comes to the hospital sector, it should be patient centricness. Unfortunately, both the places, some other aspects have taken the place. I should not speak about the medical education because I am in a college setup right now talking to you. You know it well. I am not pointing out any authority of any place across the country, but everyone is aware of what is happening. On the contrary, coming to the hospital side, things have to be patient centric, but within the government and outside it is something else centered. Something else centered. And that is where the problem comes. Education, healthcare and food. Because of the industrialization of all these three, the most basic amenities of life, all problems have come to our way, is what I conclude in my observation. You just think, in Ayurveda पैथी सारी बीमारियों का जो रास्ता है वो पेट से है, ऐसा उनका स्टेटमेंट आता है. Even the animals practice langan, that is not eating of food when they are ill. और हमको थोड़ा ORS चाहिए, थोड़ा ये चाहिए, थोड़ा जूस, तो कुछ तो मतलब वो फैक्ट्री को चालू ही रखना है, which is a cause of all problem. We want to keep it on. Okay, different pathies have different views, but coming to the point is, animals also have that sensibility towards life, which we are losing. How we eat makes up our mind. See, because that is only going to get into your blood. If we are eating vada pav, our thing will also work like a vada pav. If we are going to eat good food, quality food, we are going to stay healthy. So many of our problems dissolve there and there itself. Eating is the requirement of your belly, not of your tongue. When this simple fundamental we can understand, we can avoid so many problems. We are not taking the proper education in terms of what? Our education is class में भी रील देख रहे हैं, घर पे भी रील देख रहे हैं, अंदर भी रील देख रहे हैं, अंदर मतलब समझ रहे हैं ना, बाहर भी रील देख रहे हैं, मीटिंग के पहले भी वही कर रहे हैं, मीटिंग के बाद भी वही कर रहे हैं. अब उसी इंस्टाग्राम पे या गूगल पे या दूसरे किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे अच्छी चीज़ें भी अवेलेबल है जो आपको कैसे ग्रो होना है उसके बारे में बताएगी, राइट? अगर हम उसमें इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं, अगर हमारा इनपुट इन टर्म्स ऑफ आईज, ईयर्स एंड थॉट्स इज गुड, देन थिंग्स कैन बी डिफरेंट, फार डिफरेंट. Things can be far different. So this is where the problem has started. These three have become an industry, and we are unfortunately we are trapped into it. So NMC wants you to think over when it comes to medical education through EdCom, when it comes to patient care through EdCom. You getting me? So expose yourself to the environments that you are going to face ahead. If you don't, then things will turn against you. And even if you grow by age, you will not grow by thoughts. Even if you grow by degrees, you will not grow with your ideas. Suna nahi hai. Okay, you getting me? So two topics that have been put up before me, 1.2 and 1.3 module. One is what it means to be a patient, and second is what is doctor-patient relation. I am not going to read those theoretical dialogues. I will share it on your group. Okay, I'll share it to one of you. You can share it on your group, and you can use it to scribble in your exam paper. That shall serve the purpose of getting marks. But what it implements to us is, जिसके लिए हम काम कर रहे हैं ना, जब तक हम उसके जूते में पैर डाल के काम नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम नहीं कर सकते. तुम सोचो ना, तुम ऐसे माइक पे बोल रहे हो और कोई तुम्हारे सामने झपकी ले रहा है, तुमको कैसा लगेगा? तो तुम मेरे जूते में टांगे डाल के देखो ना कैसा लगेगा. You are getting the point, are you? I will not feel. हम मोटी चमड़ी के हो गए. I delivered more than century talks, more than 100 public talks like this so far. See, I am also 25. I am also, in the sense, I am 25. Some time back I was also 18, 19. I started my journey then taking inspiration from Sachin Tendulkar, he started early, so let us start. I didn't wait कि जब मैं professor बनूंगा तब. What it takes to speak? You should have enough content to speak. You should be able to correlate and things can go on. This is the competency that NMC taught me. So what it means to be a patient is not a case. First of all, eradicate the label of case. मैंने वो case देखा था. If it would have been your father or mother, would you entitle it as a case? Patient is not a case. Patient comes with maladies and sorrows of physical, mental, social and spiritual alterations. This is not what I am stating. This is what World Health Organization stated for the definition of health in community medicine, which you will learn, which you would have learned. First year से चालू हो जाता है. The subject which is of great importance is the most neglected one from our side. I find very less people paying attention in the community medicine class, whichever I have seen. But it is the most important one. So, when it comes to health, when it comes to patient, you have to think it as someone who has come with some problems to you, which he looks with a lot of hope that will get resolved when he or she comes to you. तुम जब तक इस माइंडसेट से नहीं देखोगे तो तुम्हारे लिए वो काम है, पेशेंट देखना एक काम है और काम से आदमी फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाता है. बट अगर आपके लिए वो काम नहीं है, आप उसको एंजॉय कर रहे हो क्योंकि आप इधर बाय चॉइस आए हो, किसी ने तुमको ढकेला नहीं, तुम अब भी छोड़ के जा सकते हो. वी आर नॉट फेवरिंग द सोसाइटी बाय बिकमिंग डॉक्टर्स. वी आर नॉट द indispensable and inevitable aspects of the society. If all doctors will vanish, I will tell you, things can be good. ऐसा नहीं है कि we will all, anyways everyone has to die someday. There's a famous dialogue which says, he cures and we earn. He cures, he heals and we earn. It is how it is. Suppose a orthopedic patient comes to you with a lying fracture. You don't put any support. You don't plaster, you don't support it anyways, and the patient bears it. Won't it get healed on its own? It will. You are not injecting something to heal it. So there are many places where you can aid a life to expand, extend, but at many times we have a very little role to play. And so pharmac people often say, when it has become industrialized, they often say every ill has a pill and every ill has a pill and no ill also has a pill called placebo. But how we can use this placebo for the betterment of the patient by making our work patient centric and not money centric is what makes us justify our act. You getting me? I have seen such setups in remote areas where people are a little less aware about things. वो बोलेगा, he will add a multivitamin ampule in the bottle of the drip and say लाल कलर का है तो 100 रुपया ज़्यादा, येलो कलर का है तो 200 रुपया ज़्यादा. And this is how people fool from our own fraternity. Now, the way we earn, the way we sow, the way it will reap. So this practice led to the existence of ADCOM. Okay. A few small homeworks that I would like to recommend for your soft skill growth. Your batch is of strength 250. How many days in a year? 365. Remove the Saturday, Sundays, it will equate. Okay, somewhere it will equate. Call a batchmate of yours every day, one batchmate one day for the whole year till you pass your first year or you come in the mid of second year. Just ask a few basic questions. Where are you from? What are your hobbies? With what intention are you here? And you learn how people think. because man is a social animal. You are not antisocial. Come out of that life of 4 friends, 4 rooms, 4 गली, 4 गांव, उसके बाहर निकलो. Then you will be able to serve this purpose of ATCOM in education, medical education. Then find some time, every day go to the hospital, go to the ICU, you will see death every day. When you see death every day, you will never feel like wasting your time of life. If you are not much, if you are having more willpower, go to the cremation center and watch someone getting buried, someone getting burnt. See those ashes. You remember that I am also going to end up here someday. You never know which is that day, and you become more accountable to yourself. When you become more accountable, your mind starts working. Because we are in the cozy environment, we have not to think about what we will eat today evening. We are not to think about where we are going to live today evening. We are not to think about what we are going to do in the next 6 months. At least in the next 6 seconds, we are drowsy. So, because we are not accountable, we are not vigilant, we are okay with whatever is happening. And we are so much okay that we are wasting life. So if we are not going to focus on ourselves as a human, enhancing our capabilities, then how are we going to work as a student? And then how are we going to work as a clinician? And then if not all this, how do we see ourselves as a clinician in this society? I hope I am able to come to my topic if you are awake. So, we were talking about patient-centricness. 6 years back, we had a guest, Dr. Padma Bhushan, Dr. V. Shanta. The branch of oncology got introduced in India after that institute came up. At the age of 92, she flew from Chennai to Pune to Sholapur, taking a long journey despite being physically disabled, just for a few hundred students. Then if you have that kind of environment, why wouldn't I come when I am fit, young enough, in a 16-hour journey by bus? So environments create us. You choose your environment. If you want to remain restricted in your mobile phone, that is your environment. And if you want to go endless outside, it's your choice. So how you make yourself as a clinician is all up to you with what kind of environment you select. If you want to be a good clinician, you have to expose yourself in the hospital. You have to go amidst the maladies of a patient. If not, you will be insensitive to them, and you are just a unit of that mechanized factory of healthcare industry. And if you are there working with that mentality, you will be having frustration because you are not getting contented with the type of service you are giving. You getting me? Yes. That's the spirit. So, again and again I just want to emphasize, I was talking about Dr. V. Shanta when she stated a statement, the moment you have technology, it does not mean you have to use it. The moment you have amenities, it is not that you have to use it. Why we are using it? Because you get a cut. A radiologist has his own cut, the physician has his own cut, the oncologist has his own cut, the medical officer in the rural area has his own cut, the ambulance driver has his own cut, the technician has a own cut, the pharmacist has his own cut. And in this cut, we are cutting our ethics, we are cutting our basic fundamental principles of practice. बहुत ईमानदारी से और बहुत जोर की आवाज़ में वो कॉन्वोकेशन के बाद में हिपोक्रेटिस ओथ लेते हैं, बट नेक्स्ट मोमेंट से उसको भूल जाते हैं. So how loyal we are to our patient decides about how contented we will be. If we are patient centric, if we look into the patient not as a case but someone who has come up with maladies and sorrows, we will definitely be able to give justice to him, more than that, justice to your own self. You getting me? So what it means to be a patient? Well, doctors are the most, I should not use the word, the most unaccountable patients, most lethargic patients. You see, you start with an antibiotic and in the course of work you forget to complete the course of the antibiotic. We are highly irregular. If you can do a research with due respect, giving it a case study, good name, and ask a multiple questions, उसमें एक question ये भी डालना, do you have any addictions? Medical students, okay? And you see how many drink, how many smoke, how many snort, and what more you can add as per your wish you want to explore in the research study. And with all this, are we able to, or are we going to give justice to the society? When a patient of hepatic alcohol liver disease comes to you, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Thoda अच्छा रहता है पियो. When you are yourself into this, the name of your college is Mahatma Gandhi Memorial Medical College, Government Medical College. Mahatma Gandhi, in his life, he has mentioned in the my experiences of my truth. One story where when a mother brings a small child to Mahatma Gandhi and says कि ये बहुत मीठा खाता है. So Gandhi says, bring him after 2 weeks. And then she comes back with the kid and Gandhi answers saying, ज़्यादा मीठा अच्छा नहीं होता है. The mother then said, अरे ये आप हमको उसी समय बता सकते थे. He said, before I would say I must practice. Before I say I must practice, I ate sweet food very much in the last 2 weeks, and with my own experience I have stated that it's not good. So what we say to the patient, we have to be very much accountable. तुम बैठे किसी बार में कोई लेके फोटो बोला डॉक्टर साहब, you are answerless. Your image is gone, and then once it is gone, it's gone. The character is gone, it's gone. You lose wealth, you lose nothing. You lose health, you lose something. You lose character, you lose everything. And you lose confidence, you lose everything forever. So going in the reverse fashion, coming into this college after the so-called Champi, confidence is lost, so we lost everything forever. The first and most important thing that we have to come up with is enhance your confidence by exploring the world like anything, especially your field. Second, restore your character. Avoid getting a disputed one by getting indulged with the nuisance 10% people available everywhere in every campus. Very openly and without any fear, I state this. Get out of those 10% idiots who are indulged in the nonsense and nuisance. So restore your character with good habits, good intake in terms of tongue, nose, eyes, ears and the skin. You understand what I mean with skin? Then coming to health, restore your health. Have a proper timetable. मैं जल्दी उठूंगा, ये मेरी आदत है. This will start not by waking up early in the morning. This will start by sleeping early in the night. We keep on scrolling our screen for hours together without getting anything. Just have the habit of putting up everything on pen and paper before you go to bed. Every day, what you did today and what you are going to do tomorrow. You read about 1,000 successful people in this world in any fraternity, you will find this common habit everywhere. So if you want to be one, you decide. Otherwise, waste your time fidgeting, talking among yourselves and doing what not. And the last thing is wealth, of course. But when you lose wealth, you lose nothing. You can regain it anytime. Because you are in that profession कि जहाँ तुम zero से hero in few years with a lot of hard work and your talent कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि तुम्हारे पास कुछ ऐसी चीज़ है जो तुम ये 15 साल में अचीव कर रहे हो DM तक, कि जो तुमको कभी भी कहीं पे भी खड़ा कर सकती है, provided your health is good, your character is good and your confidence is high. So you decide what kind of choice you want to make, what kind of living you want to have, what kind of career you want to shape. So you have to be patient centric, you have to have a good relation with someone who is coming to you. In the next 5 minutes, I will quickly slide the slides that I have had so as to complete the formality of this discussion in terms of outcome 1.2 and 1.3. Could anyone please help me with this? I have a pointer but I would not like to use it. Could anyone help me with this by going on the stage and doing it? Oh, thank you. You can just open 1.2. Give a big hand for him. वो कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा है, उसको खुशी है मेरे को. You can just slide show, start the slide show. ये देखो नीचे राइट साइड में वो एक स्क्रीन के जैसा है. हाँ, यस, दिस उसके बाजू में लेफ्ट साइड. This one, yeah, this one. Start with this. See, he learned something new today because he had confidence. He came up, he did it. So, what are the learning objectives of being a patient? Define what it means to be a patient from multiple perspectives, which we already discussed. Patient is not coming to you just for his physical illness. It is he or she is coming for mental peace, for emotional stability, and for plus minus spiritual restoration. Then recognition, that is explained what we discussed. The emotional, psychological and social impact of the illness and things which are not a part of the illness as well. Okay, third, explore the patient's journey through the illness. The most important, see, there has come up a new branch that is called as narrative medicine. What is narrative medicine? Anyone know? Anyone from the senior people? Anyone? आप कुछ नाम में ही है ना? It's self-explanatory. Yes. अरे नाम में ही है ना? Narrative माने क्या? Narration माने क्या?
सब बातचीत है.
हाँ, बातचीत. और मेडिसिन माने?
दवाई.
अरे मेडिसिन सब्जेक्ट भी तो है ना? हाँ. सबसे important चीज क्या है? When a patient comes to you, I'll tell you, the most important thing is history taking. When you go to clinics, senior people might know, when you go to clinics, वो साल भर तक 6 महीने तक हिस्ट्री टेकिंग ही सिखाते. तुम चाहे कोई डिपार्टमेंट में चले जाओ, मतलब टाइम टेबल बहुत आगे तक का रहता है, पर उसकी प्रगति उतनी ही होती है, पर वो इम्पोर्टेंट भी उतना ही है. सो हिस्ट्री टेकिंग इज एन आर्ट विच ही और शी लर्न्स टिल द 60th year of his life. And later as you grow, you get refined. So in that history taking, the most important thing is you listen to the course of the disease from the patient. वो बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करेगा कि मेरा ये जो स्वेलिंग था ना, ये पहले वटाने जितना था, मूंगफली जितना था, फिर ये थोड़ा बोर जितना हुआ, फिर ये आंवले जितना हुआ, फिर ये नींबू जितना हुआ, अब ये स्वेलिंग इतना बड़ा हो गया. The patient will tell you the whole course in a very beautiful way, in a fashion of a story. And this is called as narrative medicine. How you enhance the patient's ability to get out of his history in a narrative fashion is nothing but narrative medicine in short. So it has developed as a new, sub-branch. You go and search about narrative medicine. So that is what is expected to explore the patient's journey through his illness and health care. मैं इधर जाके आया, मैं उधर जाके आया. The problem is we are not able to give quality time to a particular patient, क्योंकि डॉक्टर साहब को उस क्लिनिक में जाना है, फिर उस क्लिनिक से उस क्लिनिक में जाना है, फिर उस हॉस्पिटल में जाना है, फिर उधर का कॉल करना है. For what? To earn more money. You give justice. People are not giving justice in terms of time to anyone. They are always in a hurry but they reach nowhere. Is a tragedy of life. वो भागेगा फास्ट गाड़ी चलाएगा ठोकेगा किसी को जाके वो चाय पीते बैठेगा. What is the use? We are always in a hurry but reach nowhere. This is a tagline for Indians. Is it good? It's not. Because we are not able to manage our time. We are not able to give justice. And so there are disruptions in patient-doctor relations, there are disruptions in family as well. You are behind money for what? Is a matter of concern. You earn a decent amount, that should be okay. So the most important thing is understanding the patient through his journey. वो बोलेगा उसको सुनो ना, उसकी राम कहानी कट शॉर्ट करके तुम नरेटिव मेडिसिन अप्लाई करो ना. तुमको जो निकालना है क्लाइमैक्स में, कैसे मूवी का भी आता है ना 2-3 मिनट का ट्रेलर, तो वैसे तुम निकाल के लो, तुम्हारा आर्ट होना चाहिए. सो एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग द रोल ऑफ अ फिजिशियन इन एड्रेसिंग द होलिस्टिक पेशेंट नीड्स. अगेन आई रिपीट, द ट्रीटमेंट हैज टू बी पेशेंट सेंट्रिक and not system centric. Holistic health means what? All those aspects that have been, covered in the first, second point. It has to be patient centric. Okay, next please. So, being a patient is not just about receiving the treatment, it is far more, what we discussed in the first line. It is an experience involving vulnerability, dependence and hope. So, what we discussed is what kind of approach you want for yourself and for the patient, whether it should be endless hope or hopeless end. Then understanding the patient's perspective is vital for effective medical care. I remember the dialogue of Padma Bhushan Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty. How many people are aware of him? How many people know the name Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty? Please raise your hands. Raise your hands high. Only 3 people. पता है कि तेरे को उसको क्या पूछता है, हाँ या ना? So 3-4 people know out of 200 people present here. Unhappy. Why? Disappointment. Why? अरे तुम जिस फील्ड में कुछ करके दिखाने को आए हो, उस फील्ड में जिन लोगों ने कुछ करके दिखाया उसके बारे में अगर नहीं पढ़ोगे तो कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? कैसे इवॉल्व होगे तुम? Thoughtfully, how are you going to evolve yourself? So what he said, Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty, a solution is not a solution until it is affordable. You have mammography, you have CT scan, you have MR, you have everything, PET scan. But if it is not affordable, what is the use? So he started industrializing it in terms of health cities, increasing the number, decreasing the cost. So despite it's an industry, it is serving the purpose. So it has to be an effective one in all aspects. Next please. So who is the patient? Anyone who is receiving a treatment or registered for some. There are long chronic illnesses like HIV, like cancers, etc. Like diabetes, hypertension, everything. All the NCDs. They can be acute, chronic, they can be physical or mental. And represents a human story behind every medical condition. वो patient क्या है उसकी पूरी मेडिकल कंडीशन बताता है. समझ में आया? नेक्स्ट. So emotional landscape. I'll tell you one scenario. I saw it with my own eyes. In our casualty, he comes out. तुम्हारा पेशेंट नहीं है. Is this the way you declare death? Is this the way you declare death? तुम्हारा पेशेंट नहीं है. What does it mean? You think that if he is your some relative, the one who succumbed is your relative, and you say, oh nahi hai. Is this the way? In these terms, I was emphasizing the mechanization, the industrialization of our field. We have become emotionless, moti chamdi ke ho gaye hum log, insensitive to life, because we are not exposing ourselves to that environment. What it means to be in a relation with someone, we are feeling. गाड़ी बदलते, कपड़े बदलते, बहुत कुछ बदलते ना. गलत मत समझो. I've seen so many couples in my college. None of them end up marrying themselves. What is the use? Why waste time? I have a great example in front of me of a ex-student I should not name from my college, a great onco surgeon in Solapur. He married in second MBBS. भाग के ले गया. He married in second MBBS. I promote. क्यों? He took a bold step in his life. He's stable mentally, physically, emotionally, everywhere. He's stable. Both of them are studying together. Both of them focusing on their professional life, career, their social life, their घर का thing. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. If you're not going to end up in a concrete relation, why waste time? उसको follow कर, इसको follow कर, इसकी जानकारी निकाल. Why I am focusing on these points? These are the brain drains and time drains in your life, which you are costing at the cost of your youthfulness of life. And for this purpose I am here. Remember. So, because we are not able to feel what the patient feels, we are ending up this. And it should start with ourselves, ना. तुम तुम्हारे लाइफ में सीरियस नहीं हो कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीजों के बारे में, तो फिर तुम दूसरों की लाइफ के बारे में कैसे रह सकते हैं? एंड सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड द इमोशनल लैंडस्केप ऑफ द पेशेंट कमिंग टू यू. नाउ इन टर्म्स ऑफ पेशेंट, it is the fear of diagnosis, the fear of pain, and the fear of death. How you communicate to the patient matters the most. तुम्हाला एक छोटीशी गांठ है ती कॅन्सरची असू शकते. आय एम सॉरी, आई मस्ट कम टू हिंदी, मराठी की आदत है. आपको एक छोटी सी गांठ है और वो हो सकती है शायद कैंसर हो, पर वी विल डू अ बायोप्सी एंड वी विल फाइनलाइज इट. वी विल कम टू अ फाइनल कंक्लूजन, अ कॉमन डायग्नोसिस. तुम्हारे कोई गांठ है, वो कैंसर है, खत्म. पेशेंट एक मोमेंट में डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है. कैंसर बोलने के बाद में उसके मन में, तो कॉमन मैन के मन में क्या रहता है? हाँ, ही इक्वेट्स इट टू दैट. बिफोर गोइंग टू द एग्जाम वो फेल हो गया. सो हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू प्रेजेंट इट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वन. आई रिमेंबर एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट. He was going somewhere with his army to conquer somewhere, and there was a big mountain, and there was a myth stating that someone who crosses the mountain will go into hell, will die. And Napoleon Bonaparte, जितने तुमको ऐतिहासिक ऐसे किरदार दिखेंगे ना, बहुत vigilant, बहुत wise. What that fellow said, he turned to his army and he said, "This is not that mountain about which you are thinking of. That one is 1.5 times bigger, greater, and it is behind this. Let's cross this." The army crossed the mountain. All of them were alive and discovered that there is just flat land next. So how you present the scenario to someone matters the most. How you look towards a situation matters the most. So mind is not the problem. Mindset is the problem. And the same problem we are communicating to the patient, क्योंकि हमारे mindset खराब है. समझ में आ रहा है? So first our mindset and then comforting the patient's mindset. So fear of diagnosis, pain, death, anxiety about future, family, finances. See, whatever I am stating is including all these points. I need not specifically emphasize on this point because you are not small kids. It's a simple English that everyone can understand. So I'll just quickly cover it. Frustration from lack of control and understanding about the disease, loneliness and isolation during hospitalization or illness. If you see big hospitals, only one relative allowed, only 2 hours allowed. How are you going to cure the patient? You are a social animal. Think 16 hours I was alone, but I had my mobile. So I traveled well, doing my work in the bus. Think yourself, staying alone. Think how did the great martyr Swatantraveer Savarkar spend so many years in a cell of Andaman and Nicobar jail. Couple of days back we had his birth anniversary, Jayanti, right? So we are freedom का मजा ले रहे हैं ना हम लोग. We are not sacrificing something for it. So come back to this loneliness and isolation during hospitalization or illness. Next please. Social impact. How will people think about me? Many people do not disclose their diseases. What they think, if someone has been diagnosed with HIV, if he is seropositive, they fear to communicate in the society. Why? because the whole world is aware about its cause as So we need to bring people about this mentality. More than that, it is through blood communication, blood contact of the seropositive patient. And you and me are the most exposed people, especially the interns and the resident doctors on the clinical side. So we have to restore this with communication. So disruption in daily life and relations, what people will think. Then loss of job and opportunity, the productivity, जैसे फ्रैक्चर हो गया तो 2 महीने वो अगर डेली वेज वर्कर है, वो 2 महीने काम पे नहीं जाएगा तो उसके घर में गेहूं की बोरियां तुम डालने वाले हो क्या? बट यू हैव टू काउंसिल, यू हैव टू कनेक्ट समवन हु वुड हेल्प, यू एटलीस्ट हैव टू शो हिम यू आर अ विजिलेंट डॉक्टर ना, तो तुम बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे कोई डोनेट करता है. दिस हैज टू गेट एडेड टू द ट्रीटमेंट, दिस हैज टू गेट एडेड. देन burden on caregivers and family dynamics, right? Only person who is earning in the family is dependent on him or her, and if he or she get ill, how things are going to work? देखो तुम वही कर रहे हो, मैं तुमको इधर आम खिला रहा हूँ, तुम उधर एप्पल खा रहे हो. Stigma associated with certain diseases we already discussed. Next please. So patient's expectations, always think yourself in the shoe of the patient. Not always you have to speak something. Many a times you need an ear to hear, a hand to hold, and a heart to understand. मैं बहुत भारी डायलॉग मार रहा हूँ, बहुत ज़माने का संच है, but they mean a lot. If you think over them, this will get uploaded on YouTube, don't worry. If you think over them, you can create a good book of ideas, a booklet of ideas. So patient needs to be heard, he needs to be understood. To receive accurate and timely information. Often patients turn up to their doctors after stopping their treatment. So you have to communicate to the patient कि भैया दवाई जब 2-3 बाकी है तब आओ. A hypertensive patient on active antihypertensive treatment comes to you after 1 week of his stoppage of medicines. Is it going to be of any use? बट यू कैन नॉट फायर दी पेशेंट. तुम्हारा कळत नहीं, तुमको समझता नहीं क्या, गेट लॉस्ट, दूसरे डॉक्टर के पास जाओ. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. यू हैव टू कम्युनिकेट. आप नहीं सुनते हो तो आपके माँ बाप समझा के बताते हैं ना. आप लायक होने जितना, पास होने जितना लायक पढ़ाई नहीं करते हो, पर फिर भी फैकल्टी बोलते हैं ना तरस खा के, ठीक है भाई किया है स्टूडेंट ने, लेट हिम गो अहेड. सो यू हैव टू हैव दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग. थर्ड, टू बी ट्रीटेड विद रिस्पेक्ट एंड डिग्निटी. You can see the difference very clearly in a government and private setup, or you can see it very much clearly in the setup in our country and abroad. यहाँ आएगा मामा पेशेंट को लो, अरे लो मतलब पेशेंट को लो स्ट्रेचर पे, चलो एक्सरे के लिए, चलो सीटी के लिए. एंड व्हेन यू आर अपीयरिंग फॉर एमएलई प्लैब, साला भाषा ही बदल जाता है, मिठाई इसकी गोली खा के जाता है. मैंने रीजनल भेद नहीं करना चाहिए, पर कौन से एरिया में आता है इंदौर? मालवा क्षेत्र में आता है, पता है. और उस साइड में बुंदेलखंड साइड में तो उधर थोड़े लोग रफ होते हैं ना, चल. और इधर हाउ? तो दिस शुड नॉट बी देयर. द डेफिनेशन ऑफ आई वाज रीडिंग some book and I came across a statement. What is way of living? What is dharma? What is way of living? How you expect someone to treat you. If you treat the same way, it is appropriate way of living, it is dharma. It's not religion. The way of living, if you want me to respect, I must respect you first. If I am disrespecting and expecting respect from you, it's not at all valid. It is anti, it is against. It is adharma. आप कर क्या रही है? So, with respect and dignity and decisions about their care, you have to involve. You can't take the patient for granted. अरे तुम्हारे अच्छे के लिए किया ना, अरे पैसा कौन देने वाला है? तू देने वाला है. किसके ऊपर होने वाला है? उसके ऊपर होने वाला है. तो जिसके ऊपर होने वाला है उसको बोलो. इज नॉट ए गिनी पिग. वी आर नॉट इन द हिटलर्स एरा. were in the नाम नहीं बोलता 21st century. Yes, next please. Physician's role more than diagnosing and prescribing, as we were discussing. You have to tell other you have to subside the other requirements of that patient. Then understanding the patient's full experience, providing emotional support, and building a trustworthy doctor-patient relationship. Often we commit this mistake. हम लोग क्लिनिक में केस प्रेजेंट करते हैं और वो पूछते हैं व्हाई डू यू आस्क द नेम ऑफ द पेशेंट. हम लोग बोलते हैं आइडेंटिटी. एग्जामिनर पूछता है व्हाट इज द एनी अदर रीजन, व्हाट इज द अदर रीजन. हम लोग बोलते हैं टू बिल्ड रैपो. खाली एक शब्द के संवाद में तुम उसके साथ रैपो बिल्डअप कर सकते हो. और तुम 5 साल किसी के साथ में रह के शादी नहीं कर रहे, तुम रैपो डेवलप करने की बात करते एक वर्ड में, एक वाक्य में, एक मीटिंग में. सो अकाउंटेबली किताब का आंसर नहीं देना, जो प्रैक्टिकल है वो बोलना. सो इफ वी वांट टू बिल्ड अप अ ट्रस्टवर्दी रिलेशनशिप विद द पेशेंट, वो देखो तुम उसको अच्छे से ट्रीट करते हो ना, वो पेशेंट जिंदगी भर तुम्हारे पास आता है. इफ यू आर अकाउंटेबल टू योर सर्विस, दिस विल टर्न अप टू यू ऑटोमेटिकली. रिमेंबर दिस. You go to a particular cloth store, you go to a particular sweet store, you go to a particular XYZ store. Why? अंकल पहचान के, क्यों दुकान दूसरे नहीं है? समझ रहे मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? That has to be here in our field also. Next please. Concept of healing, it is not always curing. It involves restoration of emotional spiritual well-being. It has to be, supportive. Supportive treatment has to be included in the course of healing. Next please. Ethics and professionalism, you have to maintain the confidentiality. अब देखो मैंने बहुत सारे चीज़ों का लोगों का नाम नहीं लिया when I was talking. I must maintain the confidentiality which I want you to learn. So first I must maintain it. Then communicating honestly and compassionately. You have to declare death. You cannot hide it. It's a crime. But the way has to be. It has to be in a way how the mother gives the cough syrup to the small child who is wanting ice cream despite cold and cough. But the mother very cleverly, because she feels for the child, gives him or her the medicine. If you can have the motherly approach to the patient, then he will be the most satisfied person and even you will be satisfied. Next, respecting the patient's autonomy and cultural beliefs. नीट एग्जाम में क्या हो गया था पता था ना? ऐसा सब हो गया था ना? सो अब जिन्होंने किया उसको तो हम कुछ बोल नहीं सकते, बट हमको कैसा ट्रीटमेंट चाहिए तो वो हम खुद अप्लाई करें. वी मस्ट comply to the beliefs of the patient, acting in the best interest of the patient at all times. Next please. So conclusion of this discussion is understanding what it means to be a patient enhances compassionate care. Medical professionals must acknowledge the person behind the disease. खाली उसको केस बोल के नहीं देखना है. And empathy, communication and respect are the cornerstones of patient care. Patient-centered care. If it is money-oriented, money-centered, then the virtues are different. Okay, so I think this is the last line. We have one more PPT and I will just read out that because we already covered a lot many things about it. You can just click escape. Yes, close it. Yes, open the next one. Yeah, we already discussed about doctor-patient relationship in detail in the last discussion. So how it is going to be included, just see the next slide. Objectives. Next please. So understanding the significance of doctor-patient relationship in clinical practice, identifying the key elements and discussing the ethical and legal responsibilities of the doctor and maintaining this relation and reflecting it in the real life case scenarios to apply this theoretical knowledge. We already discussed many scenarios. Okay, next please. So it is based on mutual respect and trust. How you give, you're going to get. So it is central to the practice of medicine affects clinical outcomes. I'll tell you one small story. Okay, when I was an intern, I was posted in medicine department. There was a case of SLE, young girl, 23 something age. SLE, you know SLE? Do you know SLE? It's an autoimmune disease, systemic lupus erythematosus, multi system involvement, and she was a patient of CKD on central line, and every day we were supposed to monitor her kidney functions and many other things. So we used to take sample, and she used to yell out of pain. She did not sleep for nights together. Neither she allowed her parents to sleep who were taking care of her, and she just used to yell out of pain. Okay, I had read and learnt about music therapy, and one day I went to her father and I said, what does she like? He said, no. One day when I had been there, she was not yelling. So I inquired, I asked her father, why isn't she yelling? Why is she silent? What did you do? He said, whenever we play this music, Om Namah Shivaya वगैरह जो भी वो play करते थे, so she's silent. I said, why don't you play it 24/7? He said, charging, this, that. मैं बोला सब तो facility है, तुम्हारे को क्या जाता है, तुम लगा के रखो. 2 days later, he wept and got into my feet, stating that वो भी सोई और हमको भी सोने दी. So it's not just about evaluating those parameters and just rectifying them by giving medicines. Medicine is far beyond these physical parameters. There are many such experiences. If I start sharing, it will be late. So it comes by mutual respect. So after this scenario, अगर आप उसको बोलोगे ना ये नहीं बचेगी, तो भी उसके मन की तैयारी रहेगी, क्योंकि उसको तुम्हारे में फेथ है कि हाँ इसने मेरे पेशेंट के अच्छे के लिए ही बोला है. So it is central to the practice of medicine, and it affects the clinical outcomes this way. Then this relationship evolves with experience, communication skills, एक दिन में नहीं होता है, and ethical integrity. Next please. अगर वो पेशेंट को मालूम पड़ा कि साला फार्मासिस्ट से भी डॉक्टर 10 टका कट लेता है, वो आएगा क्या तुम्हारे पास? वो बोलेगा तेरे जैसे बहुत है इंदौर में. Next, so importance of the relation. Why is it important? To give the best outcome to the patient. To give the best outcome to the patient. So it builds patient trust and compliance. देखो, if he doesn't believe in you ना, he will not follow you. You follow a particular hero. Why? You entrust yourself in. You find someone as your ideal because you trust him. और वही तुम देखो यार साला स्क्रीन पे अलग है, रियल लाइफ में अलग है, तो तुम जाओगे क्या उसके पास? Why people follow Dr. Kalam? As simple as when he left the Rashtrapati Bhavan with 2 suitcases. And people in such posts, they create wealth for the next 7 generations of their life, for their upcoming generations. So trust and compliance reduces chances of conflicts and complaints. मेरे को बोलो, अगर उसको विश्वास है तुम्हारे में, तो तुम्हारे ऊपर चढ़ के मारने को आएगा क्या? नहीं आएगा. Automatically these problems get resolved. What is required is integrity. What is required is ethicality. Fosters a holistic and patient-centered approach. If there is good communication, there is good outcome. Next, core elements: trust, empathy, communication, respect, and confidentiality. Already we have discussed. Next please. Ethical principles: autonomy. For example, patient comes with swelling. तुम बोले USG करने का, वो बोला नहीं CT स्कैन करने का. अब मेरे को बोलो उसको ज़्यादा समझ में आता है क्या? तो तुम 1 बार 2 बार उसको समझाओगे, और फिर नहीं मान रहे तो ठीक है, आपको CT स्कैन करना है, CT स्कैन कर लो. सिंपल. 1 बार बोलने का, 2 बार बोलने का, तीसरी बार हाँ, you are right. This resolves. Why? Because you take it in writing. It's the patient's choice. You counsel twice, you are clear on your part, you did in the best interest of the patient, but if he doesn't want to live, उसको सिगरेट पी के मरना है तो तुम क्यों लंग ट्रांसप्लांट करने पे तुले हो भैया? You getting me? So in the best of the patient's interest, maintain the autonomy, then beneficence, always in the best interest of the patient, non-maleficence, not doing any harm by any, he is not a guinea pig, patient is not a case, and justice, fair and equity in the care. मतलब मैं एक पेशेंट को अच्छा दे रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को ज़्यादा पैसा दे रहा है. ट्रीटमेंट मस्ट नेवर बी कॉम्प्रोमाइज इन टर्म्स ऑफ फाइनेंसेस. तुम उसको लोन करके दो, तुम किसी योजना को लगाओ, तुम यू डू whatever best possible, but never compromise treatment in terms of money. Next, confidentiality to build trust. Not disclosing the information will lead to complications, and there are of course legal obligations, public health risks and patient harm. Wherever required you have to expose, but without exposing the identity. Next please. Informed consent is a must, at least in today's era. Informed consent is a must. And yes, next please. Barriers. What are the barriers? What are the barriers? अरे वो पढ़ो.
Cultural language and differences and constant interview, emotional burnout in healthcare provide unrealistic patient experience.
Explain करो. So there can be cultural and language differences. For example, I come from the city of Solapur, and the problem is more than Marathi patients, I have a chunk of Kannada and Telugu speaking patients. So I must at least be able to talk to the baseline. कि मेरे को कन्नड़ नहीं आता है, कन्नड़ बरांगिला, मराठी हेल्डी, आप प्लीज मराठी में बोलिए. आपको क्या तकलीफ है, आपका क्या तकलीफ है, एन तरासेन, आपका क्या नाम है, निम्न हेसुरेन. ऐसा 4-5 डायलॉग तो आना चाहिए कि तुम वो बैरियर को ओवरकम कर सको. तुम इतना मैंने ये अनुभव किया है, व्हेन आई जस्ट स्टेट वन स्टेटमेंट कि मेरे को कन्नड़ नहीं आता है, अब मराठी में बात करो, बोलता इतनी अच्छी तो कन्नड़ आता है तेरे को. जब मैं इसको बोलता हूँ कन्नड़ बरांगिला मराठी हेल्डी, ऐसा कन्नड़ में बोलता हूँ उसको कि मेरे को भाई कन्नड़ नहीं आती, तू मराठी में बोल. बोला इतनी अच्छी तो कन्नड़ बोल रहा है, मैं बोला इतना ही आता है. सो दिस इज हाउ यू गेट ट्रस्ट ऑफ द पेशेंट कि भाई ये मेरे को सच बोल रहा है. फिर टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट्स एंड वर्कलोड इज द बिगेस्ट फैक्टर, बट आई फील इट इज नॉट. व्हाई? बिकॉज वी आर नॉट एबल टू मैनेज टाइम. Yesterday I forwarded a clip in my status, WhatsApp status. It was by Captain Qureshi, Operation Indore, and she has told 3 important things to the youth. One of them is time management. One of them is time management. See, she is of your and my age. She is of the age group between 20 to 25, 30. Okay, we are of the same generation. See where is she and see where we are. सही है ना दादा? हम कहाँ हैं? What is our identity? What is our identity? एक फर्स्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट कोई खड़ा भी नहीं करेगा अपने. So she built it because she managed time. She stated everyone has 24 hours. How you manage is up to you. So time constraints and workload, you have to chart out your plan. Emotional burnout in healthcare providers होता है ना, होता है ना. आर्मी पर्सनल और हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल अलग नहीं है. उसको फोन आया तो वो भी लड़ने के लिए भागता है, तुमको फोन आता है तो खाने का निवाला छोड़ के पेशेंट को मैनेज करने के लिए तुम भागते हो. सो यू लिव अप टू इट. देन अनरियलिस्टिक पेशेंट एक्सपेक्टेशंस, आप उसको, पेशेंट तो कुछ भी मांग सकता है, मांगने में क्या है, बेगर नेवर हैज चॉइसेस. बट ऐसा है बिकॉज इट इज इंडस्ट्री, बिकॉज वी आर चार्जिंग हिम फॉर दैट, ही कैन आस्क यू एनीथिंग. So these are the constraints, barriers that can disrupt the relation. Next please. Enhancing, कैसे overcome करोगे? Training in communication, empathy, यही तो चल रहा है. फिर developing cultural competence, जिस एरिया में हम काम कर रहे हैं we should be culturally aware. Regular feedback from patients, we don't. Neither faculties take from us and nor we from the patients. Then regular feedback and ethics and professional workshops. I think this is a part of it. Next please. So one scenario we already discussed. I'll just read out. You will be able to capture what the scenario says. Patient refuses a potentially life-saving procedure and how to respect the autonomy while encouraging the appropriate care. Patient बोल रहा है मेरे को CPCR नहीं करना है, मेरी रीढ़ की हड्डी टूट जाएगी, सॉरी मेरी रिब टूट जाएगी, पांचवें बोलते हैं उसको, rib get fractured, the ribs get fractured while CPCR. So patient is denying, we don't want to see that, and you think that it is inevitable for life of the patient if you want to save. So how you balance the autonomy of his choice as well as giving the best care required. Then consider the ethical principles and communication strategies and get best out of it. Next please. A family request to hide cancer diagnosis, discussion, balancing the truth telling and cultural sensitivity, evaluate legal and ethical duties. This has happened with me as from the side of the patient's relatives in my close family. When I was requesting the doctor, sir थोड़ा देर से अपन बोलो, वो पैनिक हो जाएंगे, बोले तेरे को क्या बेवकूफ़ लगता है तेरे साथ आने वाला, उसको समझेगा नहीं, चार पूरी फैमिली को बुलाया है और उसको नहीं बोलूँगा तो उसको मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा क्या. So you have to balance truth telling and cultural sensitivity. Next please. What qualities define a successful doctor-patient relationship? How should one approach the confidentiality and confidentiality breaches, and how can empathy be practiced without emotional exhaustion? This is what we learned from these two case scenarios. Yes, next please. So summary of this whole discussion is, this we are learning because it's essential for the quality care of the patient. It is based on ethics, communication, empathy and respect, of course mutual, and challenges exist but they have to be overcome through conscious effort and training by such means. So thank you one and all. At the outset, thank you so much. तुमने तो बहुत ध्यान दिया. Whether these claps are for allowing you to sleep good in this AC or not troubling you with a lot of questions, or really you enjoyed it? Did you really accept the way things have gone? Okay. So at the outset I would like to thank Honorable Dean Sir, Honorable Professor and Head Department of Physiology, Dr. Ajay Bhatt Sir, your in charge Head of the Department, Dr. Chabra Sir, my colleagues, Dr. Ram Teke and Dr. Shukla and ma'am, resident ma'am, for bearing me through last 1.5 months, allowing me to speak here, giving me a platform to interact with you all. And last but not the least, I must thank for the patient listening of the audience in whatever means possible. And you can feel free to communicate anytime. I keep on moving all across the country, not only in medical fraternity but everywhere. When I was post lunch, when I was sitting in a meeting here in Indore, I got a WhatsApp notification about a news outlet, a news cutout of a program that we did on 28th in Solapur. So appreciation boosts you, right? Anyone, it could be small or big. Appreciation boosts you. So feel free to communicate anytime. Like an elder brother, always there to help in any aspect of your life. May it be very personal, may it be very professional, academic. And I have not introduced myself to you in any terms, but there is something different that you can always think of. So thank you for your patient listening. You can contact me any one of you please come to me. I will give you these PPTs. Send me a hi message. One of you, not everyone. And whenever you want to communicate, you can just state your name, batch, which place you are, and with what reference you know me. That is like you know me with this program. So then I will always help and reach out. I chose anatomy by choice. I am not there by default. And I have different plans for myself. We are planned for the next 25 and more years. We have our to-do list till 2047. We have our paper on plan till 2029. I am not preparing for the elections well, but it is how we work. अरे 3 महीने बाद 2 महीने बाद का लेटर आ रहा है प्रोग्राम का. It sets what time management you are doing, what planning you have. So it's all different. Enjoy. Happy learning. Good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit, for this insightful session. I hope the students would have learned something really good